What if the reason your podcast and business is feeling stuck isn't because you're doing too little, but because you're holding on to too much? Too many platforms, too many shoulds, too many voices telling you how it has to be done. Well, today we're using an EFT tapping session to let go of everything that is not serving you so that you can finally gain clarity in your messaging, your marketing, your mission, so that your podcast and business can be aligned. Because when you stop chasing and start aligning, that's where everything shifts. So let's tap into clarity together. Welcome to Beyond the Downloads. I'm Jen, your podcast bestie, here to tell you there's so much more about podcasting than just those numbers. So before you throw in the towel, you better listen up. We're diving deep into the heart of what makes podcasting truly special, from storytelling to connection, and yes, even healing. Think of me as your podcast life raft, ready to help you navigate those choppy waters of this podcasting world and the podcast overwhelm. From understanding the therapeutic power of sharing your voice to the practical tips to grow your show without losing your ever-loving mind. If you're ready to ditch the hustle and create content that leaves a legacy, a tsunami impact, no more ripples. Whether you're launching your first show or looking to take your podcast to the next level, I'm here to help you grow, launch, and yes, make some money from your passion. Let's make your podcasting dreams your reality. It's time to go beyond the downloads, where your story becomes a legacy. Welcome, podcaster. I am so excited to bring you this session today. We are doing this to remove some of the clutter from our life so that we can really stand in our power. Whether you're walking or you're able to actually sit down and do this as a tapping, you can do this almost anywhere. If you're driving, hands on the wheel at all times, and just imagine yourself tapping through this. Take a deep breath and let's just kind of come into this space. I want you to find a comfortable seat. Place your feet on the floor. Feel the ground beneath you if you're walking. Take a deep breath in. And exhale slowly. And I want you to think about how overwhelmed do you feel about your podcast, your message, your business? Where are you holding on to that confusion, that frustration, that pressure to do it all, to be everywhere, to do things a certain way that just don't seem to be working for you? And just pushing and pushing and pushing against something that doesn't feel aligned. And I want you to think about that overwhelm and that pushing against those things that aren't aligned. On a scale of 1 to 10, where does that hit? Does it feel really crunchy? That's a 10. Does it feel like there's so much resistance? Or do you feel like it's just kind of like this little mini hiccup in the path? 10 being the most crunchy. So why tapping? This is one of my favorite tools. It helps you release the negative emotions and helps you reprogram the thoughts by tapping on specific points on your body. Think of it kind of like acupuncture, but with your fingertips. So what we do is we acknowledge where we are and we accept it. We shift into possibility. Then we take corrective actions to clarify and align. And then we reinforce that we can trust our decisions and create a consistent momentum. So for those of you that have never tapped before, the tapping points are the karate chop. This is on the pinky side of your hand. Just think of like karate chop. Like where is that karate chop when you go, hi-ya? That side of your hand that's going to hit the board or hit the person. That's your karate chop point. Eyebrow point is where your eyebrows come in at your nose. Side of eye is the outside of your eye. Under eye is kind of in the middle of your eye, but below. Under your nose, on your chin, on your collarbone, under the arm, and then the top point in your head. Some of these places that if you're feeling really crunchy, you can tap with both sides. If you're in a car, you can actually just tap on your fingers to kind of just get some of that reprogramming done. I do like going through the full points because it really helps with the release, but you can do this anywhere. So I want you to sit down, and we've already kind of gained our seats. We've gotten grounded. We're really feeling our feet on the ground. our tushes in the chair, and our energy kind of flowing. And we're going to start with acknowledging and accepting where we are, that crunchy feeling, that between 1 to 10. I want you to start tapping on the side of hand, that karate chop point, and either repeat out loud or repeat in your mind, depending on where you are, what I say. So as we're tapping on the karate chop point, I want you to say, even though I feel overwhelmed and unclear, I choose to release what doesn't serve me. Even though I've been stuck in the shoulds and the expectations of others, I choose to trust my own clarity and vision. Eyebrow point. I've been carrying too much. Side of eye. So many voices telling me what I should do. Under eye. So many strategies that feel exhausting. Under nose. It's time to release the noise. Chin point. I don't have to be on every platform. Collarbone. I give myself permission to do what feels right for me. Underarm. And that might mean letting go of some people, some coaches, some voices, and some things that I've already paid for to move forward. Top of head. I am choosing clarity over chaos. Take a deep breath in. Another breath. Back to the karate chop point. Even though I've felt unclear, I am open to seeing a new path. Continuing with the karate chop point. Even though I've been doubting my direction, I choose to trust myself. Eyebrow point. Maybe I don't have to do it all. Side of eye. Maybe I can choose what actually works for me. Under eye. Maybe there's actually a simpler way. Under nose. I am allowed to let go of what doesn't serve me. Chin. I trust that my audience will find me, but I am opening myself up to work and be consistent to be seen. Collarbone. I am worth the time that people can spend with me. Underarm. I see the potential in my message making big changes in the world. Top of head. I am open to new ways of thinking and marketing my podcast and business. I am open to being seen. Deep breath in and exhale. Back to the karate chop point. And again, remember to say these out loud or in your mind's eye. I see what is working and what is not with ease. Karate chop point. I release the fear of missing out if I am not on all platforms. I am fully capable of choosing what moves me and my business forward with ease and don't have to do more. Eyebrow. I don't have to be everywhere to be successful. Side of eye. I trust the right actions will bring me the best results. Under eye. I am moving past the distractions into clarity. Under nose. I recognize the difference between shiny objects and true opportunities. Chin. I take aligned steps that move me forward consistently. Collarbone. I am not afraid to be seen. Underarm. My story and my mission is enough. Top of head. I confidently grow in my own way and at my own pace. Deep breath in. Now we're going back to the karate chop point. Start tapping on that karate chop point. Take another deep breath and make sure that you're still grounded. I trust myself to make the best decisions for my life and business. I am fully capable of staying consistent without burning out. I choose aligned action over busy work. Eyebrow point. I trust I am building a business that supports me and my life. Side of eye. I am stepping into my power and my purpose. Under eye, I confidently move forward one step at a time, one small action at a time. Under nose, I don't need to compare my journey to anyone else's journey. Chin, I see the difference between distractions and real opportunities with ease. Collarbone, I celebrate every aligned action I take. Underarm, I am building momentum in a way that feels good. Top of head, I am ready to thrive in my podcast and business in my way. Repeat that. I am ready to thrive in my podcast and business my way. Take a deep breath. I want you to feel your feet on the ground and allow yourself to really take it in. I am ready to thrive in my podcast and business my way, a way that feels good to you. Oh, just feel that in your body. Now, I want you to go back to the scale of 1 to 10 that we talked about before. How much resistance or overwhelm are you still feeling? Do you notice any shifts? Is there anything that needs more attention? If there's still tension, you can repeat this tapping session as needed. I've used tapping sessions for months at a time to move through certain things. Allow yourself to really settle into this feeling. With tapping, we move from the reality and we slowly bring you into the desired result. But maybe during the second session, you're like, ooh, it's just baby stepping into that new reality, and that's where you're getting stuck. So you can go back and listen to this over and over again until you move through where you really are at that last point where I am ready to thrive in my podcast and business my way. And I'm really excited to bring these back to you. It was brought to my attention recently how important these were. And I didn't think anybody liked them. And that's the power of actually connecting with your audience, is getting to know what has been working for them, what they're using, what's successful, what's not successful. And I had somebody tell me that how great the tappings were and how they'd actually been helping. So I'm going to bring these back to the podcast. And again, it's all about connection. Business is about connection. Podcast is about connection. It's about people, not just numbers. How does that feel? So now that you've released what doesn't serve you, let's take this moment to turn to clarity and turn it into real momentum. If you want to join the Bold Active Collective, we don't waste time with cookie cutter podcast strategies, business strategy. We focus on what works for you. That long form content like podcasting, YouTube, that's actually going to move the needle forward in your business without you having to constantly be hustling to beat the algorithm. And every week we do a hot seat coaching. This is where you actually get a whole bunch of eyes on your business, helping you refine your message, take bold action, one step at a time. Because clarity alone isn't enough. You have to take those actions, and those actions should be specific for your business, which is why I designed the Bold Action Collective, because we actually look at each person individually during these coaching calls, and we give advice by your brand, your business, your audience, and we tweak it in a way that feels good for you. So if you're ready to market your podcast and business in a way that actually works without burnout, without endless repurposing of content that doesn't work, and chasing trends that don't convert, come join us inside the Bold Action Collective. Head over to theboldaction.collective.com or check the show notes for the link. Let's build a business that supports the life you want. I'll see you inside the Bold Action Collective. Now go out and make today amazing, because you are beautiful, you are wonderful, you are worthy, and your story deserves a microphone. I'll see you next week.